What I want to show you today is how to grow your business through social media. And I'm going to lay a lot of emphasis on your business as an author. And because I don't want to waste too much time here, I'll just go straight to the point. First, I'll assume that because this is a meeting for authors, I'll assume that you're an author, or at least maybe in some kind of digital publishing. And how can social media help you? Because primarily, if you write books or if you create any type of product at all, the goal is, before you even created the book, you already have a set of people in mind that this is the kind of people I want to impact with my book. I'm writing this book to reach a particular kind of people and to pass across some kind of message. So it is very important that after you've put in all the hard work to, bring the book to life, it's very important that your book or whatever you've created reach the right people. That's the people you've created it for. So if you write a book or if you create any product at all and the book ends up on your shelf forever, nobody gets to read it, nobody gets to see it, then that book has not been able to achieve its purpose. It's very important that your book gets into the hands of the people you've, created the message for. And as at now, 2022, the best place to achieve this, the best place of reaching people is through social media. In the top 6 most visited websites in the world, 4 of them are social media platforms. That's to show you how powerful social media is. And basically, that's where everybody kind of like spend their time these days. And most of you here are even watching this live meeting from Facebook. So you see how much of a part of our life these platforms have become. So the people you want to reach with your book, the people you are writing for, they are somewhere on social media. And if you know how to reach them wherever they are on the internet, then you'll be able to make the full impact you really want to make as an author. And this is what this session is all about, basically. So how do you as an author reach people on social media and get to make money from your writings? Because that's also part of the process. If you put in the sweat to create a book, create value that people can get to benefit from, it's just normal for you to get value in return, and that value can be in form of money. So you should be making money as an author as well. So what are the things you need to do? I will just do some talking and then I'm going to share my screen in a moment. And when I share my screen with you, I'm going to kind of walk you through the basics of Facebook ads and how you can use Facebook ads as a leverage for your business. And I know yesterday you've already learned about branding, which is like the first step towards building a business on social media. And that is creating your own unique brand. That's very important. And that's one of the things that will trademark you as an author, being unique. So first of all, you need to create a unique brand for yourself if social media is something you want to dominate. If social media is in your agenda, then you need to structure your brand in a way that it is worth following, in a way that it is worth listening to. And I'm not going to go into all of that because you've covered branding yesterday, but just have that at the back of your mind. Then the second thing you need to do is establishing your presence through content. Content simply means you creating pieces of information that the kind of people you want to attract to your business will find valuable and interesting. So that's the second thing you need to do after defining your brand. That's you defining what you want to do, like the problem you are solving, who you are solving it for, and the platform you want to use. Okay, now let me just talk about the platform a little bit. We have different social media platforms that you can use. And one thing, if you are just starting out, the number one recommendation I'm going to give you is to start from one platform. Okay, you can decide to do maybe Facebook, you can decide to do Instagram, you can decide to do Twitter, or you can decide to do YouTube, and you can decide to do TikTok as well. If you establish yourself enough in one platform, it's going to be very, very easy for you to spread yourself out later on. That's the first recommendation I have for you. Pick a platform. Probably you already know where you are most comfortable. Okay, for me, I do most of what I do on YouTube. That's where I create most of my videos, and that's where I pour a lot of my energy. So after you've picked a platform, now we can continue talking about content. And I said content is how you establish your presence on a platform. And this is because these platforms mostly work on a model of users generating the content that keep the platform running. So the platforms are designed to reward people that create content. And if you want to do business on social media, you want to make sure that you are creating content. If you are not creating content, then you are not in business on social media. There's nothing else you can be doing. The first thing to do is to start creating content. And if you are just starting, focus on creating content. For instance, if you pick Facebook, then you should start creating posts, maybe go live, posting videos. Or if you pick Instagram, then you could start creating reels, you could start creating carousels. Whichever platform you use, the different platforms usually have different forms of content. For example, TikTok is short vertical videos. So if you want to do business on TikTok, you should be creating short vertical videos. That's what the platform needs, and that's what it rewards. You want to identify the form of content that works for that platform and create that type of content. Usually, it's very simple. Just the people already making impact on this platform, like what's the kind of content they are creating. You can just look at that and reverse engineer the whole stuff and apply it to your business. And you also want to start creating those kind of content. So I was saying, as a beginner, you have to create a whole lot of content at the very beginning. And how do you create content? Basically, the people you want to impact, the people you want to do business with, like what are the kind of things they will love to see? What are the kind of stuff they'll enjoy? And those are the kind of things you are going to turn into your content. For instance, the people I have in my audience are online entrepreneurs and digital marketers. And that's why I create lessons and tutorials about online marketing, digital marketing, and topics like that. So if, for instance, you want to attract writers, then you should be creating content that will help writers, how to come up with writing ideas, how to deal with writer's block, all those different problems, tiny problems that they need to, solve. Your content just kind of provide the solution to them. All right. The content you should be creating is what will interest the kind of audience you want to attract. And here's how it works. Once you start creating content, these platforms, like if you start posting on Facebook, for instance, Facebook will start recommending your post to people that the algorithm knows will be interested in your topic, the topic you are talking about. So these algorithms know how to do that. Let's say if you are talking, so let me use somebody as a practical example. Give me the topic you focus on majorly. Let's say if you focus on writing for, let's say, stay-at-home moms, just tell me the topic you focus on in your writing business. All right, so let's say you are a writer in the personal development niche. Okay, anytime you create content around personal development, Facebook kind of knows the kind of people who will be interested in those kind of topics in personal development, in time management, productivity. Like, it's the same for all of the social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. They have data points that they use to know who will be interested in this topic, and that's primarily based on what the people have engaged with in the past. Somebody who is interested in personal development definitely would have spent some time on some personal development pages, not your page, but other personal development pages, reading through. Even you, if you're interested in, let's say, you're interested in climate change, you'll be surfing through other pages that talk about climate change, and the platform is able to understand that this topic topic interests you. So whenever anybody just kind of create a post about climate change, Facebook recommends it to you, and that's how the recommendation system works. So once you start creating content that you know will interest your audience, those people will start finding your content, right? And they are going to start, following you, and that's because they find what you are doing valuable, and they really want to stay on and get more of this kind of value in the future. And if you do that consistently, create content consistently around a particular topic, you are basically going to grow your influence on social media. And as you are growing your influence, you are building what is known as know, like, and trust, or KLT, which is very important. Now, know, like, and trust simply is what people need before they buy from somebody. So usually before I buy something, I should already kind of have a prior knowledge of what the product is about, who is selling it, and I trust that the person is able to deliver on the promise, and kind of connect with that person. Because anytime you decide I want to buy something, you have different options. There are different places you could buy from. So anybody you decide to eventually buy from, it's because there is something between you and that person that is not there between you and the other sellers. So if you create content long enough, first of all, your influence is going to grow, and then you are going to build an audience of people who know you, like you, and that's because they have found all of the things you've created very helpful, and they have used it before and it worked for them. Then as you build know, like, and trust, it comes to the point where you can start profiting from all of the hard work you've put in place. Okay, now these social media platforms, they kind of have indicators that people can use to confirm that they are interested in your business and they are interested in what you have to offer. And that confirmation could be in the form of them liking your page, or them following you, that's following your page, or them subscribing to your channel, whatever it is, just to kind of show interest in what you have to offer. And it's just like a sign of want more of this kind of thing in the future. Now, if you've done this consistently enough, you can then start thinking about monetization. Now, you don't have to wait till you get to thousands of followers or thousands of subscribers before you can start making money on social media. Once you can even start making money with as little as 100 people in your audience. The money is not in the number, all right? The money is in the value you are creating and in the relationship, the kind of relationship you've built with your audience. So if you do this long enough, you get to the point where you can start making money. And usually as an author, what you want to do is probably sell your book. And if you've written a book already, you have a book published, as your platform grows, as you create content, once in a while, you can get to advertise your book to them. But if you don't have a book, you can decide to write one when you feel it's time for your audience to hear a particular message you've had in mind. So either ways, a point will come where you can sell something to them, and something that they are going to find helpful, something that will be valuable to them, not just you selling for the sake of selling, but you are selling for the sake of creating value and helping people achieve certain results. All right. Now, there are different ways to make money on social media. As a matter of fact, some of these platforms actually pay creators, like YouTube. If you get to certain requirements, they are going to start paying you even without you selling anything or doing anything special. But like I mentioned at the start of this meeting, I'm going to focus on you as authors now. There are different ways to monetize social media actually, but the first is by selling your books or your digital products. And by the way, just in case you don't know, right now in 2022, you don't have to, publish your book as hard copies. And if you want to publish your book, it's very, very easy right now. Back then, you need to contact publishers and you need to print in bulk, and the money can be very high. And usually as a new author, if you contact publishers, print in bulk like that, most of the times you are not able to sell a lot of them, and you just have all of those loads somewhere in your house. So what you can do right now is to publish it on Amazon, right? If you publish it on Amazon, you can decide to print how many copies you want. Maybe you just want to print just 10. You can decide to print just 10. Amazon is going to do the printing and ship to you. So that's an easier route if you want to have a hard copy of your book. But I wanted to say it's not compulsory for you to have a hard copy copy book, start making money. So you can create an ebook and sell to your audience. Okay, so the number one way you can make money on social media as an author is by selling your books. Now, I started this whole thing by saying, first establish your brand. Your brand is you defining your message, who the message is for, and the platform you want to use, and then you creating content on that platform to establish your influence and build a community. If you follow through with this process, you already have people who will be ready to buy your book. Okay, that's the people who've been enjoying what you've been sharing before now. They'll be glad that at least you have something that they can pay for. So you can create an ebook and sell to your audience. And when it comes to selling on social media, there are two ways to go about it. You could decide to sell organically, and this is you just using the normal means of doing business on Facebook, posting, and sometimes you get the opportunity to share platforms with other authors, sell to their audience, like that. There's a whole lot of stuff that you can do right here. But first, you can sell organically, and then you can sell your books through ads. All of these social media platforms, they are free for users. That's, you don't have to pay to use maybe Instagram, you don't have to pay to use Facebook, you don't have to pay to use YouTube or TikTok or even Twitter, right? All of these platforms are free, and the way these platforms make money is through advertisement. So business people get to pay them and show ads to people on the platform. And this is why running ad is so powerful, because if you are to sell organically, then you have to do a lot of work, which is very necessary. Like, you should even sell organically to validate that your book is something that people are going to buy. Because I see a lot of people trying to run ads, but nobody's buying. It's simply because people are not interested in what they are selling. So the way you can validate if there's a market for what you are trying to sell is by first trying to sell it organically. If people buy, then there's a market for it, and then you can start pushing into creating ads. Now, advertising is simply you giving the platform money and then telling the platform, this is the kind of people I want to show my ad, I want to show my business or my product to, and then just does the rest for you. But here's the thing, and a lot of people get to confuse advertising a lot, because they think if you just create ads, it will automatically translate into sales for you. But it does not work that way. Advertising is just like you mounting a billboard. It does not force people, or it does not hold people's hands and then get them to buy your product. So let's say I want to sell a particular course or a particular book, for instance, and I'm using Facebook ad to promote the book. What Facebook will help me do is to show my ad to the kind of people I've chosen. The remaining part of the work of getting them to buy from me is actually in my court, and you can achieve that through first the creatives, that's copy, image, or the video, and then the funnel you carry people through before they get to buy. How easy or how difficult it is to buy, the price, the value, and all these other factors. But basically, if you have the money, you can pay social media platforms to show your business or your book to a specified set of people. Let's say you create a book about personal development and you want to use Facebook ads. You can be very specific and say, okay, I want to show my ad to people who are interested in personal development, because those are the kind of people who will likely buy your book. People who are not interested in personal development will most likely not buy your book. So you target people who are interested in the topic your book is about. There are a lot of ways to achieve that. All right. First of all, when you create ads, a lot of the time the platform already knows the kind of people that will be interested in what the ad is about. You can use broad targeting, and the system is still able to know who should see your ad, or if you know exactly who you want to target, you can impute that and the system will deliver a message. You can decide to reach, okay, you want to target people who already look like the people you have in your community. Let's say you have a Facebook page and you have 3,000 followers. You can run ads to target people who look like your followers. Now here's the trick. Let's say you have a Facebook page with 5,000 followers, for instance, and you already know that they like what you are doing, they're interested in what you are doing. screen, they are the right people for your business. So it's just common sense to know that if you create an ad to target people who look like the people already following you, you know that your ad is going to be very, very effective if you do it that way. Okay, so you can decide to target your paid followers, that's those who the algorithm might decide to ignore whenever you post organically, or you can decide to target people who look like your followers and the system kind of just look for people who have never heard about you before, but they have the same tendencies, the same behaviors, the same interests as your followers. Facebook is going to show your ad to them, or whichever the advertising platform. I'm going to focus on Facebook advertising right now, and I'm going to run you very quickly how to set up ads on Facebook. Probably you already know how to do that by now, but I'm just going to walk you through simple steps, and then I'll be mentioning some other things that you need to know in the process. All right, how to create ads with Facebook. Now, anytime I mention running ads on Facebook, it's the same with running ads on Instagram, because if you want your ads to show up on Instagram, you set it up from your ads manager, your Facebook business ads manager. If you want your ads to show up on Facebook, you still set it up from Facebook ads manager. And then to start running ads, let me just share my screen with you. First of all, before you start running ads on Facebook, you need a Facebook account. All right, you need your Facebook account, and then you need a Facebook page. Okay, you need a Facebook page. I'll just send you guys links to resources that will help you do all of that, because if I want to go into all of that right now, we are going to take a lot of time here. You need your Facebook account, which I will assume you already have by now. Then you need a Facebook business page. You can create that. It's very easy to create. And then you need a Facebook business account. If you don't have a Facebook business account, you just need to open your browser and visit business.facebook.com. It's going to open up a page where you can create a new business account. Let me see if I can show you what that looks like. This, if you don't have a Facebook business account yet, just visit business.facebook.com, and here you'll be able to create an account. You see this create account, you click on it, and then you just need to log into your Facebook account to set up your business account. The process is very, very simple, and it's something that you'll be able to find your way around. You just need to follow the prompt. After creating your business manager account, the next thing you need to do is to create, usually this will happen like in sequence when setting up your business account, be able to create an ad account and do a lot of other stuff. But the goal is to get to this point where you can start setting up ads. Like I mentioned earlier, I'll send you guys resources. I'll show you all those business account setup and just show you more about running ads on Facebook. So once you come here, all the campaigns you've created before will show up here. Now, when running ad, your ad has 3 different components. You have the campaign, the ad set, and then the ad. Here you see the campaigns you've created. Now, inside campaigns you have ad sets, and inside ad sets you have ads. You'll probably see that if we try to set up a new campaign now, and you can have multiple ad sets inside a campaign and multiple ads inside an ad set. Okay, but usually if you come over to this place, you are going to see the campaigns you've created, and then if you want to create a new ad on Facebook or Instagram, you just need to click on this create button. Now, you could either post what you want to advertise on your Facebook page or on your Instagram page, and then you can come over here and use the post for your ad, or you can decide to just do everything from inside your ad manager here. Now, once you click on create, you are going to see these different campaign objectives, and this is you telling Facebook, this is what I want to achieve with your ad. And any objective you choose here, Facebook will try to help you achieve the objective you've chosen. So for awareness, if you want to just put your business in front of a lot of eyeballs, you can use awareness just for people to know about you, to know that you're in business. Usually this is not something that a lot of businesses will get to do, especially you as a small business, because it really does not have quick return. Then the traffic objective is if you want people to visit a website, or let's say if you want to get people to, you have a custom link that will direct people to your WhatsApp, then you could use traffic and get people to click on that link. Or if you have an online store, a landing page, a website, you can use traffic and get people to visit that website. Then engagement is if you want to boost the engagement on a post on your page or on your page in general. Then leads, if you want to generate leads, you can use leads. If you have a landing page or if you want to, generate leads inside Facebook. Then app promotion, if you have an app, maybe on Play Store or on Apple App Store, you can use app promotion and get people to install your app. Then if you want to sell something, you use sales. So whatever it is you want to achieve, you just need to choose the right objective. And it is very important that you select the right objective because it helps Facebook deliver the kind of results that you want. So let's say I want to create an ad to get traffic to my website, and I'm going to use, let's say this is my website, or let me open, let's say on this landing page where people can get to see details of a particular product I'm selling and buy the product, and I want to get people to visit this page. Okay, then I'm going to select traffic, and then if you look at the down here, you can see you can name your campaign. You can give your campaign any name you want. The name does not really matter. Name is just to help you recognize, because once you start creating different campaigns, you are going to have a lot of them. So the name is to help you recognize the different campaigns you have. So let's say I'm going to name this author. Then here you can see that we have ad set and ad. And like I mentioned earlier, your advertisement on Facebook has 3 components: campaign, ad set, and ad. So you can start to name your ad set as well, name your ad, but I'm not going to do all of this. If you don't name them, like if you don't give them a custom name, Facebook will give them a generic name. Like it's going to give this maybe ad set 1, ad 1, like that. So I'll click on create. Now there is a point where you need to set up your ad. Special ad categories, usually you will not have any problem with this, but if you're advertising any ad in any of this category, maybe ads for credit card offers, employment, housing, or political or social issues, you can select special ad category. But you as an author that's just advertising your book, if your book is just to help people and it's not related to any of these categories mentioned here, you don't need to choose categories. Then buying type, auction, that's the default and that's the way it should be. Then campaign objective is traffic. Remember, we selected traffic. Then for this A/B test category, this if you have, let's say, different ad setups and you want to test which of them will bring you the best result. So let's say you are trying to sell your book and you have 2 different flyer designs and you want to check which of them will get people to buy the most. You can decide to create an A/B test to see which of the designs will bring you the best result. Then advantage campaign budgets or campaign budget optimization. Remember, I mentioned that you can have multiple ad sets inside the campaign. Now, this advantage campaign budget simply means you want Facebook to distribute your money, that's money you are spending on the ad, proportionally according to the results you are getting from the different assets. If you turn this off, you have to set your budget manually for the different ad sets you are going to have in your campaign. So I like turning this on so that I won't have to do a lot of manual monitoring. Any ad set that is bringing me the best result or any ad that is bringing me the best result, Facebook just kind of sends a bulk of my money in the direction of that ad. So after you've done all of this, you can click on next. Also, Facebook has a resource known as Facebook Blueprint. You can just go to your browser and type in Facebook Blueprint, and you are going to learn Facebook ads directly from Facebook and even get certified. Okay, the courses are free. You can take the courses for free, but if you want to get certificates, they have a fee for that. So this is one resource that can help you learn a lot about running ads on Facebook. But that's by the way. Now, this the default ad set name Facebook gave to our ad set. So let's say I want to name this ad set, or let me just leave it that way. No need to bother about the name right now. If you look at the right here, you'll see your audience definition, and this Facebook estimating based on the setup you have right now, the number of people you will likely reach with your ad. So from what I have right now, I could reach an estimated audience size of 26 million to 30 million, and that's because I've not really entered anything. I've not entered the age range of the people I want to target. I've not entered their location. I've not entered their interest, and it's just This big, okay? Now, conversion location, this next thing we have here is where do you want to send your traffic to? Remember, we are setting up a traffic ad. So we need to select where we want to direct our traffic to. So you want to direct your traffic to a website or to an app or to Messenger or to WhatsApp or get them to call you. Because I'm directing people to my website, I'm going to select website, and then dynamic creative is if you want Facebook to do a bulk of the work for you, but we're going to set our creatives up by ourselves. Then optimization for delivery. Now this you telling Facebook the result that is most important to you. Different campaign objectives have different events you could optimize for. For traffic, you could optimize either for link clicks. That means you are saying your priority is to get people to click on a link on your ad, or you can say landing page views. If you select landing page views, that means you are telling Facebook that from this ad, your priority is to get people to actually load up the link and visit wherever the link is going to direct them to. Or impressions. Impressions simply means how many people are going to see your ad, whether they take action or not. Daily unique reach is how many new people have not seen your ad before. So I'll use landing page views. But one thing you need to take note of when choosing an event to optimize for, the more specific the event, like the more difficult it is to get. Like if you are running a conversion ad, you could optimize for maybe add to cart or purchase. There are different events you could optimize for depending on the pixels and the funnel steps you have. But let's say you optimize for purchase, it's going to be more difficult to get people to buy than to get them to add to cart. The same way for traffic, if I was going for link clicks, it would be easier for me to get link clicks. Like a lot of people will be clicking on links, but not a lot of them will load up the site. So if I want to really focus on people visiting the site, actually, I'll go for landing page views, but this is going to cost me more money. Link clicks will cost less, but it's going to be less effective as well. Landing page views will cost more, but it's going to be more effective. So that's one thing you need to know when selecting the event you want to use. This cost per result goal is if you want to set a limit as to how much you want to spend, how much you are willing to spend at most for a particular result, but you just want to leave this the way it is so that Facebook prioritize you getting results, not really caring about the cost. Now for the budget and schedule, you can set your ad to start on a particular date on a particular time, and then you can even set an end date as well when you want the ad to start and end. But usually I don't add end dates to my ad. Whenever it's time for me to just end the ad, I turn them off by myself. Then the next point, and this is very important, is this audience segment. And this is where you tell Facebook who you want to show your ad to. Now, if you're advertising a particular product, what you want to do here is to target the people who you know will need the product you're advertising. Let's say you are selling an ebook on personal development. I mentioned earlier, you want to target people who will be interested in personal development. So I'm going to use personal development as an example here. So let's say I have an ebook on personal development. Who would I want to show my ad to? So for location, I could decide to target Nigeria. But at the same time, I know that people who really prioritize personal development, a lot of them will be in Lagos and Abuja. That's not to say there are not people in other places in Nigeria who are interested in personal development, but this is where majority of them are going to be. And one thing about advertising is the more people you can have in your audience, the audience you're targeting, the better the results you will likely get. So you decide to go for the whole of Nigeria, but I want to be very specific with the location. So I'm not going to use the whole of Nigeria. I'm going to use Lagos and let's say Abuja, for instance. Now, remember, I started by saying if you want to build a business on social media, start by creating content organically and validate that there's a market for your product by trying to sell it organically. Now, once you are creating content, you are going to start building engagement on your page, Facebook page, Instagram page, whatever. So you can check your page insights and see where majority of your audience, majority of your engagement is coming from. So you can decide to target those locations. Then for age range, here again, I'm going to ask myself, people who are interested in personal development, like what's their likely age bracket? For me, I'm going to use, let's say 24 to 45. And I want to take note of the kind of thinking you want to use here and the kind of questions you should be asking. Now, this is because people who are interested in personal development, this is their prime time. Most people, this is where they start taking life serious, and this is where, they start looking for stuff that make them better and push them to the next level. And you want to apply this kind of questions to your product. I'm just using personal development as an example, but it's going to apply to any type of product at all. Now, you could decide to leave the age range default and just let Facebook do the targeting for you. I've mentioned earlier that Facebook can know who needs to see your ad. So even if you leave this default, it does not mean your ad is not going to bring results. But you should use that if you don't know who you should targeting. All right. But if you know who you should be targeting, you should specify that here. Then detailed targeting, there are 3 different categories here: demographics, interests, behaviors. And demographics is like statutory stuff like educational background, income level. And I've noticed demographics does not really work if you're advertising to Nigeria, but you could use interests, what I think people you are targeting will be interested in. Using my personal development example, people who are interested in personal development will also be interested in, let's say, a personality like Brian Tracy. So I could target Brian Tracy, and then you see interest by the side here. This saying you are targeting people interested in Brian Tracy. If you want to use detailed targeting, a lot of the times the interest you want to target might not be available here. So you just have to work with what's available. And if you don't know who you should be targeting, you should just leave it blank and use broad targeting. And then with time, you can create lookalikes and niche down stage by stage. Now, after I enter Brian Tracy, I can click on suggestions, and Facebook is going to recommend other interests related to Brian Tracy. So you have people like Robert Kiyosaki, Napoleon Hill, John C. Maxwell. These are the kind of people that people who are pursuing personal development will be following, will be reading about. So I can decide to go for all of this. And you can see that because I am now more specific with my targeting, my estimated audience size has reduced from over 20 million to just about 400,000. Like I mentioned, if you don't know who to target, just go broad. But you can really play around with the targeting. You can flex the whole stuff here. You can exclude some kind of audience. So let's say you don't target people who are interested in Robert Kiyosaki, but exclude people who are interested in a particular interest. You can use that exclude function to do that. Or you can narrow down further. People are interested in this and also interested in this as well. Then you have this detailed targeting expansion part where you can reach people beyond your detailed targeting. Now, the thing is, Facebook has more insight and more information than you do, okay? So sometimes it just pays off to kind of trust them with some part of your ad. So if you check this box, you are saying, if Facebook kind of sees that I'll get better results by showing my ad to a particular audience segment, but I don't have that in my targeting here, then Facebook should go ahead and just get me the result regardless whether I'm targeting them or not. So you can check reach people beyond your detailed targeting. I always use this basically. Most often, except when I don't want to, I use detailed targeting expansion. Then languages, you can just leave it at all languages, but if you want, you can just choose maybe only people who can speak English. You can do that. But if you're advertising to, let's say you're advertising to just Nigeria, when the language a lot of people use is English, you don't need to really bother about the language here. Then you can save this audience if you want to use it for later. And then placement. Now, there are 2 kinds of placements you could use. Advantage placement. This was formerly known as automatic placement. Is you want Facebook to show your ad wherever would get you the best result. But if you want to show your result, if you want to show your ad in just specific platforms, you can select manual placement. And let's say I just want to show my ad to just Facebook and Instagram without audience network or messenger. Then you can just leave Facebook, check out Facebook and Instagram. And let's say even on Facebook and Instagram, I want to show my ad only on Facebook and Instagram feed. No stories, no all of these. I can just uncheck them. This way, my ad is going to show up just on Facebook and Instagram feeds. Now, there's no rule around this. Basically, when you start running ad, you start discovering where your best results are coming from. So for a start, I recommend you just play around with your stuff. And advertising is all about testing. You have to do a lot of tests for you to find what is working for you. So now we are done setting up the ad set. I can now click on next. and then this is where you set up the ad. The ad is what people are going to see. So your Facebook page, the Facebook page or the Instagram page you are using, the write-up you are using, the creatives you are using, this is where you set it up. So you select the Facebook page you want to use, you select your Facebook page, let's say I'll use this, then you select the Instagram account you want to use, and for you to do this, you have to connect your Instagram account to your Facebook page, either on Facebook or from inside your business manager here. If you want to do that from business manager, you can just click on connect and it's going to prompt you to log in, and once you can log in successfully, it's going to connect that for you. Then ad setup, if you have a post on your page that you would like to use for your ad, you select use existing post, or you can create ad. I'm going to create ad, but if you select use existing post, you can just pick the post you want to use for your ad. Then you can just scroll down, format, you can see different formats you could use, carousel, collection. I'm going to use single image or video, and then add creative. You upload the media file you want to use, whether it's an image or a video. Let's say I'm going to use an image. Let me use this, for example. Then you can play around with this. This is a preview of how your image, the image you have here, will show up on feed. And let's say if you don't want any editing, you can use original, but the recommendation is just Facebook saying this is how best your ad is going to, your creative is going to show up when you see it. But as you can see here, some part of my image here is cut out, and that's why when you are designing your creatives, you should make sure that you are creating them in the right dimensions. So I'm going to use original. Usually if you use the right dimensions when designing your flyer or creating your video, you are not going to have any problem here. So I'm going to click on next, no enhancement. Then primary text is the write-up, so you can just type in the copy for your book. Hi, let's say, let me just use an example. Hi, check out my website. So you can just use your write-up here, and then I'll paste my website URL. Then you can add a headline. As an author, you already know how to play with writings, how to come up with titles, so I'll not really go into all of that. Then call to action, you can see a preview of what your ad will look like when you start running right here. So this call to action button, you can design it here. So I'm going to use learn more as my call to action. Then I'm going to paste my website URL. Usually the different ad objectives have different setup components, okay? But for a traffic ad, all I need to do is to paste the URL of the website I want to drive traffic to. But let's say you are running a conversion ad. If you want to sell a product, you have to select the pixel, the conversion event. But if you understand the primary setup, you'll be able to find your way around it. So once you are done doing all of this, you can just click on publish, and Facebook is going to review your ad in less than 24 hours. If your ad complies with Facebook ad policies, your ad will be approved, your ad will start running, and people can start seeing whatever it is you are promoting. Now, let me talk about Facebook ad policies for a moment before I round up. Facebook ad policies are the rules that guide advertising on Facebook. So if you want to continue to advertise on the platform, you have to abide by their policies. And if your ad does not comply with Facebook ad policies, your ad will not even be approved in the first place. So it's very important that if you want to use the platform for advertising, you learn or you acquaint yourself with Facebook ad policies. So what I recommend you do is just come over to your browser and search Facebook ad policies, and just open this and read through so that you understand what they really want from you, what you should do, what you should not do. And because if you violate their policies, first of all, your ads are not going to be approved. Then your ad account could be suspended, your Facebook page could be suspended, or your account could be suspended from running ad. And if you want to continue to use the platform for business, you don't want that to happen to you. So these are the basics of advertising. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to send it to Josephine, and then she'll send you to you guys other links about Facebook ad. I already made a number of videos about Facebook ad on my channel, so I'm going to send you guys links, how to create a different type of ads, some things you need to know about ads, what to do if your ad is not converting, and all of that. So guys, I think it's been worth it for you, and I believe you've learned a lot.